Hey y'all, Progress of a Widow with our AM lifestyle and podcasting. So, first things first, shout out to BLC Collections, Faith Around and Find Out. Got my hoodie on, and I came by today real quick. I want to bring something to y'all attention. Y'all know how this go. So, I was asked a question, and I'm going to bring it to the table. So the question was, do you plan to have a marriage with the person you married to? And so the answer is yes. And I know on one hand, you probably like, yeah, duh, yes. That's not a simple yes, though, people. Because I want to make sure that we all are clear that there is a difference between being married and being in a marriage. There is a difference. And so let me explain it. And here's the thing. I'm going to talk about me. I ain't even going to talk about nobody else. I'm about to give y'all a real story, real life story, so you can clearly understand the difference, right? I was married to my late husband a total of 10 years before his deceasing. Okay. However, in the first 5 years of our time, we were only married. Okay. We were only married. And what that means is we did the ceremony, we got the certificate, right? I got my surname, married. We live in a house together. We share a bank account, married, okay? Those are all things of being married. Now, we got to a point where we end up relocating, right? And so when we relocated, we had a conversation and we really wanted to fix some things because we didn't like the way things were turning out. You know, we made some plans, they didn't go the way we needed it to. We was having faith, but we wasn't having 100% faith. You know, we was walking real stagnated in our faith walk, if I can say it so delicately. And by all means, again, I'm being very transparent because I have nothing to hide, and not because he's now deceased, but because, again, awareness is key. And so with that being said, we learned at that very point of making that decision that we wanted to put God in the front of being married. We had then stepped into a marriage. You're probably still like, what's the difference? So the marriage is when you're now operating in the expectations of the covenant in which God has for marriage. Okay? The covenant of marriage honors God. So when you're not operating in that covenant, in those bylaws, in those motions of serenity, then it becomes you're just married. Because at that point, it's just to really say, well, I'm not shacking or I'm not fornicating. You know, like being married is to only try to validate what you're really still doing. And so again, being transparent, me and my husband, late husband, we went into a whole lot of different facets with each other. Nothing negative, right? Nothing violent. But we tried things. We agreed to things. We made things up as we went along. But when it got to a point where we was hurting people and we both realized that we was bringing people into our marriage, making us adulterers, it became a different conversation, because at those points you have to know that you can still sin in being married. And I mean within the married portion of it, okay? I'm not even talking about like all that other stuff. Not right now anyway. Don't miss what I'm saying. So, the moment we started seeking God for what he wanted for us, we were at that point we were in marriage. I truly hope that makes the clearest sense that it can make, because that's when we prospered. That's when we flourished. That's when we were blessed abundantly. That's when, I mean, like I could look back at our pictures and I can see where we were like a good couple, a nice couple, and then we was just like, oh y'all that couple. Okay, y'all my favorite couple. Like, right? Because at that point we put God in the front of our marriage. And at that point I can truly honestly say that's when the difference of just being married versus being in a marriage made all the sense in the world. So when people ask me questions like, do I plan to be in the marriage with the person I'm married to? The answer is yes. Yes, because not only do I want us to have fun because we're married, not only do I want us to be confident with one another, not only do I want us to be secure with one another, secure in one another, okay? Not only, but I want us to be able to pray for one another, right? Come on now, let's Bible that thing up. And then some things only come by fasting and prayer. So at that point for me, I want marriage because I want what honors God. And I want to fulfill his expectation, obviously to the best of my ability, because I'm only human, right? But to the best of our ability, whomever my future husband is, I desire to be married within my marriage, because I don't want to be just married with no marriage. Mm-mm. Like, I'm okay with you having friends, but I ain't got no sister wives. That part. Like, that's it. Like, it's nothing else to say with that. Like, I'm okay with, like, you being on the road, doing your life, having the lifestyle, or let me say, the platform in which you may have. I'm cool with it. But don't forget that we're in a marriage. We still got to go before God. Because what you do reflects on me, which means we did it. Now, the crazy part about it is, once you learn these dynamic expectations that God have for marriage, it'll change how you deal with people. Literally. Because we all like to talk about Proverbs 31, and it's that. But baby, when you go over to Titus and you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, go back to chapter 6 and then read chapter 7, that's different. That's different. And if you if you really are a lover of the word, Galatians will get you all the way together. Okay? Galatians will get you all the way together. And so, yeah, I absolutely have to be, without a shadow of a doubt, married while in my marriage. Okay? I don't need no discretion or confusion. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention today. So think about that before y'all be like really running out here like, oh, I want to get married. Oh, I just be cool on like knowing the difference between, is this person just wanting to be married to you, or do they want to be in a marriage with you? Because that union is a whole different kind of thing. But it's Progressive Widow.